it's Daniela, and this week's theme on Wowzerfying Squad is post-quarantine. So the idea of this theme is to show you guys what we're doing post-quarantine. Now that quarantine is kind of over, I say kind of because, you know, it's not fully over, but you know, that being said, we're obviously not in the same place we were a year and a half ago. One of the biggest things I did post-quarantine was me and my family went on a trip. I've kind of kept it a surprise where we were going because I wanted to save it for this video. Me and my family went to Maui for 5 days and it was so much fun. So in this video I'm going to show you guys pretty much like a bunch of footage from my trip. I want to put it out there that we're all vaccinated, so we were like able to do this safely. We wore masks like everywhere indoors. We wore masks like on the plane and stuff. Anyways, this shirt that I'm wearing now, I actually wore it on the plane on the way there. This trip was a special trip to celebrate my graduation. It was supposed to happen a year ago, but obviously we had to postpone it. We couldn't do it last year obviously because, you know, it just wasn't safe. But this year we were finally able to do it and I could not be more excited. Anyways, enough rambling. Let's get on to the video. Woo! Okay, to kick things off, you can't go on a wowzerfying vacation without, you know, getting to your destination. So here's some footage from the plane. I always try and get the window seat because I love getting that takeoff footage. So we had 2 flights total with a layover in LA. And here's a picture of my ultimate airplane comfort. I have 2 pillows and a pair of sleep headphones. And believe it or not, wearing a mask on a plane can actually really be comfortable. And here I am attempting to get footage of us finally landing in paradise. I say attempting because, as you can see, we landed at night, so all I could really see was city lights instead of, you know, tropical paradise. Plus, my camera light automatically turns on in the dark, hence the glare. And by the way, from the time we arrived at the airport back at home to the time we finished the process of renting our car, that was about 13 hours. And during that entire time, with the exception of eating and drinking, of course, we were all masked up for the entire 13 hours. So with that being said, if I can wear a mask for literally more than half a day, you can wear one for half an hour in a store. Just a public service announcement for all the Karens out there. Anyways, so basically once we got to our condo, we pretty much hit the hay for the night since we were tired and jet lagged. We arrived at about 8:30 p.m. local time, but it felt like 1:30 a.m. because of something called time zones. You know, Google it. The next morning, I was up at 5:45 a.m. Now, I'm not at all a morning person, but due to the time change, getting up early was actually much easier. And this is when I could finally start to take in the true beauty. Look at how incredibly breathtaking that view is. That's the view from our beach condo before 6 a.m. And as if the view wasn't already wowzerfying, I was also able to hear the sounds of the beach waves from inside. And here I am taking a morning walk on the beach. And someone wrote ALOHA in the sand and, you know, I just had to snap a pic of it. And by the way, I wish I could take credit for that, but that wasn't actually me who wrote that. I just took a picture of it. Later on, we did our fun activity of the day, parasailing. This is something I've been wanting to do ever since I saw it in a YouTube video 5 years ago. So as you can imagine, I was so excited. Parasailing was so much fun. The views are incredible and I wish I could have filmed it from my perspective, but unfortunately there wasn't a safe way to hold my camera up there. But trust me, it was absolutely amazing. On day 2, we did some hiking. First, we went to the lavender gardens, and there really wasn't much lavender there, but there were still some really pretty plants and stuff. Then our next stop was looking at a crater from 10,000 feet above ground level. This was kind of our day to branch out from beachy stuff and explore other types of beauty. And let me tell you, it was amazing. First of all, it was surprisingly chilly up there, and it wasn't freezing by any means, but it was hot and cold at the same time, as I overheard a little boy say as he passed by me. We hiked around a little and just took in everything. I'll let you guys take it in yourself. Since this trip was a celebration of my graduation, albeit 1 year late, we wanted to celebrate with some fine dining. So we went out for a late dinner at 9 p.m. and I got barbecue pork chops, which were really good. But the best part of the meal was the chocolate cake I got for dessert. We told them the occasion we were celebrating, and they even wrote congratulations on my cake. How pretty is that? Day 3, beach/water activities day. The first thing we did on this day was we went fishing. Now, I've only been fishing one other time in my life, and that was many years ago. And that time, I didn't even catch anything. So obviously, I'm not a very experienced fisher at all, but we still had so much fun. And we met with a guy who's very experienced at fishing, and he taught us and helped us out, and I ended up catching 2 fish. And afterwards, we went to the beach. This day in particular was one of my favorite days of the trip because I got to do exactly what I wanted to do, have a blast at the beach. I had a wowzerfying time jumping into the waves. Day 4, road to HANA. This was what we spent pretty much the bulk of our day doing. The road to HANA is a very windy road surrounded by a rainforest, and it's about 33 miles long, I believe. It took a long time because A, there were several hiking spots, and B, the speed limit is like 0.2 miles per hour. By the way, that's an exaggeration. So we stopped at a few of the hiking spots, and I saw some waterfalls along the way, and here I am in front of what was officially the best waterfall I've ever seen in person. Seriously, it was so mesmerizing. At mile 33, which if I'm not mistaken is the end, there's a cave that was formed almost 1,000 years ago. Yes, you heard that correctly. We explored the cave, or at least the parts that were actually, explorable. Yeah, we definitely saw some holes that looked like they led to nowhere land. Then we drove the entire distance all the way back. So in total, this took maybe about 6 or 7 hours. It's definitely one of those activities that requires a whole day. Day 5, ziplining. This was our last half day of our trip, so we had to squeeze in one last activity before catching our flight back home later that evening. We concluded our trip with some ziplining. Like parasailing, the views were amazing, but I couldn't film them because I couldn't take my camera with me. So credits to my mom for videotaping me. She's not the biggest fan of heights, so she opted out of ziplining and instead agreed to be the camera person. It was so much fun and the perfect end to the perfect trip. Unfortunately though, all good things must eventually come to an end. I was not looking forward to leaving this incredible view, but, the flight home just wasn't going to catch itself. Plus, we're already 100% considering returning to Maui in 3 years for my next graduation trip. Wait, considering? Who said we're only considering it? More like we're already planning to come back in 3 years. I've already got a whole bucket list of things I want to do then. So with that, it was time to hit the skies and fly back home. Fun fact, this was actually officially the longest flight I've ever been on to date, clocking in at 7 hours. And it was overnight too. We took off at 6:50 p.m. and landed at 6:30 a.m. And we got like 0.2 seconds of sleep, but it's fine. And then we had a connecting flight that was less than an hour long, literally just between 2 cities, which I know, it seems a little silly. I know you're thinking we could have just driven back, but our car was back at our home airport, so we couldn't exactly do that. So thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and it was so much fun. because obviously the trip was so much fun. So yeah, if you guys want to be a good candidate for a shout out in my next video, then make sure to comment down below what was the best trip that you've ever been on. And if you've never like really been on like a trip or like a vacation or something before, just tell me like, it could be like a staycation, like you could just tell me like what was the best road trip you've ever been on. Just like tell me like the best trip or like road trip or like vacation type of thing that you've ever done. And yeah, I have to say my favorite trip that I've ever been on was obviously this trip, because not only was it like special and like it was like my special like graduation trip and stuff, but also it was very much anticipated, literally for over a year. It was we were anticipating it, and yeah, and obviously like we had to wait so long to do it, so the fact that like we were finally able to do it just made it that much more special. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in, and don't forget to have a wowzerfying day for lots of wowzerness, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, y'all. Woo!